Hey,
Wait a second. Okay, you are recording.
all right, good morning, everyone, and everybody out there in Zoom land. Thank you for your time today and so forth. We got a number of things to go through on the agenda, so let's start off right up front with, we have a marketing proposal. I asked Ray Pucci to come in and talk to us about this proposal that I suggested he draft, which is designed to encourage people who are new second homeowners or new residents, to encourage them to establish their business here and become part of our business community. So Ray's put together a proposal for us to look at. So Ray?
So let's go through it. I'm sorry. Let's go through it quickly because I know that you all have looked at it already. So as Jim said, we all know, at least anecdotally, or at least we think, that we've seen an influx of folks, primarily out of the New York metro area, who have moved here, either into their existing seasonal residences, or based on what we've seen, and George can certainly speak to this, we haven't seen a real estate market like this, I think, since probably 1985.
Yeah.
A
long time.
And so we know, even though the census may not show this, that our population has increased and our population has changed, and I would suspect that our population has become more affluent. We've already seen some new businesses that have opened, restaurants, retail, manufacturing over the last few months, and I think this is a moment in time for us here in this county. One of the things that has drawn these folks, because it's safe, is certainly one, but also the infrastructure that we have here. So with this proposal, as we go through this a little bit, you'll see that we talk about the audience, new residents who have already made that move to Delaware County, folks who are remaining in the city, in urban areas, who are considering leaving that urban area but not yet aware of the assets that we have here in Delaware County, entrepreneurs who are interested in relocating their businesses. I love, there's a radio spot that I hear often on WGY that says something along the lines of, because I don't need to commute anymore, I get to choose where I live. And folks are certainly doing that.
You want to add into your thing, we got 20 closings coming up, 21 closings, as a matter of fact. 40% of those closings are people from Jersey, not from New York City.
Well, when I say New York, I mean the New York City metropolitan area, because certainly the same the same conditions that we're seeing in the 5 boroughs are happening in Westchester, they're happening in Rockland, they're happening at least in northern New Jersey, places like Jersey City and others, where they have a governor who makes Cuomo look like I won't go there.
I will.
I know you will. That's why I didn't feel the need to finish that sentence. So you can see what our messages would be, close and far.
Just a second, Ray. Scott, can you hear? He's frozen again. No, okay, go ahead.
That business thrives here. You know, part of what we need to do is to dispel these myths that we have, that nothing happens here, there are no jobs, there's no employment, there's no possibility of a future here, and as we all know, that's clearly false. and that we have the talent already here, that they can create some synergistic results. And finally, that we answer the questions. If someone has a question about relocating, that we have the resources available and we have those assets available to connect them with the folks. So the program assets, excuse me, is a first is a revamp of the DelawareCounty.org website, because we already have some standing in Google and search engines for that site. It makes sense to use that as our base, and we turned that into a lifestyle website with the section for a go-to business resource. So what we're looking to do is create that single place that business owners or prospective business owners can use. Easy to use platform. It's going to be responsive, so it can be used on this, it can be used on that, it can be used on a laptop, it can be used on a desktop, and not change that experience for the user. The focus is going to be on relocation. And again, that resource for all those who have moved to the county, as well as those who are considering making that move. And finally, something that in our working name is Destination Delaware County. It's a useful tool for current business owners, a place to get information about where they can, how they can expand their business, how they can establish a business. That's where available training information and the like will be included. And you can see some of the content that we're proposing, some business profiles, showing those true innovators making things happen here. Show that energy that we know is that you guys, that you all support. Showing that lifestyle, really taking a lot of the successful work that we've done with GreatWesternCatskills.com, our tourism-facing site, and re-editing it for a different spin. So it's not the weekend visit, it's the lifetime visit, if you will, and talk about the innovation that's happening here. So the site is part of that, and then of course there's the marketing support that comes along with it, with some branded social media, not just the organic. Well, we're talking organic, and we're talking about media buys. So 3 to 5 social posts about life in the county, driving, and again, the purpose is to drive activity, drive traffic to that site. Spotlights of businesses, again, more posts showcasing that natural beauty and activities and the business resources that we have here. And starting a media buy with a small budget, relatively small budget, using Google AdWords, Facebook, Instagram advertising, YouTube advertising, things that we've been using successfully through our GreatWesternCatskills.com site. And at the last page, you see what projected program costs are for those for a 12-month period. Development of the website is about $7,500. That does not include about I'm estimating 80 hours over the 12 months of content writing that the chamber will include in here. That's not part of any budget. This is work that's contracted to Blue Spark Creative, the agency that we use for our Great Western Catskills website posting, and then about a $10,000 media and social media, media buy and social media management. So that includes, excuse me, that includes social media management at $550 per month and at some social media advertising and direct media buy at about $250 per month. I know I ran through that very quickly. Any questions that you have? I've also submitted this to the folks at the O'Connor Foundation through the Catskill Development Foundation for funding. Their board should be meeting any time now. I hope it wasn't yesterday. I was encouraged to submit an application to them for a $5,000 matching grant. I've also talked with Glenn Faulkner at Margaretville Telephone about potential funding through the Delaware County Broadband Initiative through DTC, MTC, and Delaware County Electric Co-op. Mark Schneider, previous exec at the Electric Co-op, was very supportive of something like this in the past and had some dollars set aside for that purpose. The events over the last 8 months have made this easier in some way. And we can do something much more targeted, much less expensive, which I think with greater results. I should mention too that Delhi Telephone, and I suspect Margaretville Telephone will as well, allow us to include advertising in their cable and internet bills. So we have one way of directly contacting those folks who are here that we may not necessarily know about.
So what are you looking for from us?
Cash.
Well, of course.
Just send money, Bruce. You know, I'm trying to cover a 7 to really launch this over the next 12 months. It's going to cost somewhere around in direct cost, probably about, like I said, about $17,000 or so. And if so, my tin cup is out and rattling. Right now, I don't have anything in my tin cup.
Ray, the question that I had on this budget is you're in essence talking 48% of the overall budget is going to go towards redesign of a website.
Yep. About 7,500.
That somehow seems top heavy to me, and there's got to be a better way to just produce the pure message and get it out there.
We need to direct. We need a place for that message, for folks responding to that message to go to. So that 75, you're right. In initial costs, it looks big. I don't expect, as we look at a year or two, as in my mind, when I'm looking at a year 2 budget, I'm looking at advertising from DelawareCounty.org that's going to support those media buys in year 2. But it's really a one-time expense. You know, if you think of it as a website as a capital expense, that probably puts it in a better perspective. We need some place. You know, Otsego County has started some advertising. Some of you may have seen it. You know, come live in Otsego County, and directs you to this website. The only thing on the website is a landing page. There's no phone number. There's no anything. It's just some pretty pictures. Sure, we could very easily do something like that, but it doesn't lead anywhere. this will actually start engaging people and driving people and getting folks that information that they need to make those decisions.
I think, Ray, I think you're gonna get a letter from Don Bishop, from the O'Connor Foundation. Gonna want you to tell them how much matching funds you have, and I think what you can do is call Donnie at the Robinson Broadhurst. Ask him if we give you $5,000, tell him you need the $5,000 to get $5,000 from, there you got $10,000, you got almost all you need.
Well, the Amy Warner is now the exec at O'Connor,
Mhm.
and Amy's wonderful. I haven't developed, with Laddie leaving Robinson Broadhurst
Mhm.
and Doug in there now, I don't have a relationship, so I don't.
I'll talk to him.
I haven't, but their focus tends to be real narrow. Their focus tends to be Stanford and Hobart.
But you're helping Stanford and Hobart.
And well, it will be, but maybe not directly enough. But that's something that, certainly I'm open to exploring that.
Oh, we've got two residents
I
of
know.
Stanford on our board. So I think that could be, between the two of them, we got.
Yeah, that would be tremendous.
Maybe make some inroads.
You could talk to Donnie too, both talk to him.
I think it's a good idea. I just need to see how much other money you raise.
Mhm.
I think it's a fantastic idea. Anything that's drawing people here is gonna help us one way or another, whether
Mhm.
they just buy a second home or they move up here and live and work here and do it all through Zoom and everything, but, I'd like to see how much other money you raise. I mean, I don't wanna say we'll give you 10,000 and you raise 15,000. I'd rather see what you need to complete the project from all the other sources first, to me. But I still think it's a great idea.
I think if you get 5,000 from Robinson Broadhurst, you definitely get 5,000 from O'Connor. You're almost locked into the match. You got $10,000, now you only need 7. And there might be some other places that I don't know about that are out there.
Well, if the phone companies
Yeah,
chip in, and
The project.
we could be the final factor to complete the project.
or the co-op, the electric co-op.
Well, they're part of that. They're part of that broadband initiative.
So, I mean, again, I think it's a great idea, and I think if you come back and say we raised 15,000 or we raised 12,000, and we can say, what's it, whether we'll do the whole 5,500 or whatever you need to complete it. So I think it's too early for us to commit a dollar now, because we don't know.
Right.
Like I said, I still think it's a great idea.
Would it be better, how quickly are you gonna find out from these other organizations?
I hope to hear from O'Connor Foundation this month, and I would imagine from DCBI early next month.
Okay, so can we leave it with you that, yes, we're willing to be a part of it, like Bruce said? We just don't know at what level we
Okay.
come in.
Great.
Does that make sense?
Are there any budgetary, we are in
What I
mid-December,
would
are there
say-
any, do you need to encumber anything before month end, year end?
No.
No, okay.
No, we're good. It's just, I think like Bruce said, we gotta find out where everybody else is.
Sure.
And then we'll.
Yeah, I was hoping to have some better, numbers before meeting with you.
It'd be
today,
better
so-
for us to fill in the gap.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, great, thank you,
Okay.
thank you.
You're welcome.
The second thing that I have is really just an announcement.
One item, no.
No, you know me better than that, Bruce. You give me you give me the floor and, you may remember that, we talked a while ago about,
This is
the,
very nice.
a Delaware County-based company named, called Growth Wheel donated, trained a group of us last spring. Almost, there was snow on the ground, it was last spring. And everything is, during these last 8 months have been difficult to do something. DCMO, we had several of their staff included in that training on March 1st. As a result of not only the efforts that are happening at DCMO now, but that opportunity that Growth Wheel has given us, DCMO has recently launched their Entrepreneur Academy. They have started with their current students incorporating some of the concepts of Growth Wheel and some of the Growth Wheel tools into their curriculum this fall. They are launching a 4-week business startup class out in Norwich early next month, and they're starting one here in Delaware County in March. It's going to be Mondays and Wednesday evenings from 6 to 8 for those first 4 weeks of March. It will be held at the Harold campus in Trout Creek, and we'll be running a remote class here that I will be facilitating. Martha Ryan will be teaching the program. As I said, I'll be facilitating the program here in Delhi. So I wanted to let you all know about that, and if you have folks who are interested in participating, please share this. We're going to start our promotion for this class in a couple weeks after the first of the year. Martha has arranged for some scholarship monies for through the Community Foundation of South Central New York for women, and through the CDO workforce, folks who are working through Maggie's group through OET. They still called OET anymore? Anyway.
Yeah.
If they're displaced workers or unemployed or something like that, they can also attend the program at no cost. And Martha also has some limited funds for BOCES, DCMO BOCES graduates to attend that program. The last thing that I'll leave with you is just some information. Our the Chamber's leadership program starts in March. It will be a remote-only program for 8 months. Diane Monroe, some of you may know Diane. Diane's a former school superintendent, lives out in Roxbury, currently on the ORDA board, has agreed to team teach the class with me. Different focus than what we've done in the past, and you can read through that, but that starts on March 16. And again, we really want to target that as the emerging leaders program. So we're looking to that younger cohort. It's who we've really been attracting during the last two programs. So I'll leave that with you again, any folks that you know who may be interested in participating. It's 2 afternoons a month, from March through June. The summer months will be spent on individually and working on their project, and then we start the program back up, with remote sessions. At the very least, remote sessions in September.
Is there a cost for this?
What's that? 300 for an individual, for the company's first person. If that company wishes to send a second person, the second person, I believe, is 200 for the second enrollee and 150 for each additional. So we priced it to really encourage a company to send several people. I've thrown a lot of stuff out at you, and I know you got a full agenda. Any?
Yes, I'm gonna jump back to the entrepreneur program. I think it's a great program. I think it's something that's needed in Delaware County. I'm glad that you got DCMO to offer it in the county. What I would like to ask the IDA board to consider would be to set aside some money for scholarships. The cost of that program is $240. So we could set aside 5 or 10 money for 5 or 10 scholarships and consider them on an individual application basis.
Fine with me.
Good idea.
Does that make sense?
Is Scott hearing this? Are you hearing anything?
I'm hearing a little bit of it. The audio is pretty poor.
Could I make
I'm
a
up for-
motion to do that for what Jim's saying?
Oh, great.
Certainly.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. How many scholarships? 5 or 10?
Want to start with 5 and see how it goes?
Okay, great.
This is something that I expect that we're going to be, it's a 4-week program. It's something that we expect to offer at least quarterly, depending upon interest. So, starting with 5 and see if there's,
Okay,
we can talk about what that process
Yep.
might be. I mean, folks are registering through Martha, and then she can coordinate with
okay.
you for.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all.
You
I'm
are.
sorry, I need to run. I have a radio program to do in Roxbury. Any questions of me or anything before I run out here?
The proposal that you put forward is the chamber? Was
Yes.
Asking for it, okay, and the chamber is who owns DelawareCounty.org,
Correct,
that's what I thought. Just wanted to check.
correct.
Good. Thank you kindly.
Excellent. Thank
Appreciate
you
it.
all. If anyone's still around, I'll be back in a few rounds.
Okay. See you, Ray. Appreciate it.
Lillian, you're all good?
Right, I'm good. You're just gonna have to show Tabitha how to unmute that microphone when they come out of executive session.
Okay.
So
We're
the easiest thing for you to do then is, you see how you're recording?
I forget, do we do that?
Generally do that in executive session.
You're all good, Ray.
Generally do that in executive session, don't we?
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've got, let me ask you this. The updates that you got and then the pump station, the DRNC, the hidden in Sheffield.
Yes.
And I have two other items. One that you don't know about.
Okay.
That I think ought to go under executive session, but can that whole section of updates go under executive session?
Sure, yep,
And we can do the
the
financial.
loan report then.
Then,
I'll
so,
make a motion.
we have a motion to go into executive session,
Second.
okay.
Okay, we're recording.
Or you don't need Tabitha to do anything?
Nope, we're recording. I got it.
Okay, we need to go. Yeah, I need a motion to come out of executive session. Second?
Second.
Thank you. All right, we're back live. We have to do resolutions to accept the insurance quotation for the
Yeah.
boiler and machinery insurance.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Thank you. We need a resolution, a motion to accept the engineering proposal from Cedarwood.
Yes, for operations, yeah. So moved.
second,
Second.
And that includes us billing back to the industries half of that for each one of them, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
all
Aye.
right,
And the third one was I've called it spare parts proposal from Kester Engineering or Kester.
So moved. That's her supply.
Kester Supplies.
Yeah, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
all right.
Opposed? That's it. Any other old or new business?
Nope.
Then can I,
We have to approve the financial.
oh, yeah, right, we need to, I need a motion to approve the treasurer's report, the invoices and the final. Second,
So moved.
all in favor?
Aye.
All
Aye.
right.
Okay, now can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
And I will open the LDC meeting. I need approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And promotion of, or motion to accept the 3 financial reports.
I move.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The other older new business for the LDC? So we can adjourn, we'll have some more.
Good seeing you guys.
Thank you.
Have a nice Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas,
Merry
everyone.
Christmas.
Have a great day.
Appreciate you sitting in on this.